want to tell you now, Edgar Allan Poe. He was one of the literature's noted writers with such stories under his belt such as The Raven and The Telltale Heart. But I want to know, do you know that this literary genius called the Bronx his home? The Edgar Allan Poe Cottage is located in the Kingsbridge section of the Bronx and has been since restored by the Bronx Historical Society. And on set now to give us more history on the cottage is Society Educator Angel Hernandez, and good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
It is a very big piece of our Bronx culture and our Bronx
Yes,
history,
is.
knowing that Edgar Allan Poe calls the Bronx his home. The fact that you're able to see this renovation, restoration, what does it mean to you, first of all?
Well, it keeps our literary heritage alive in the Bronx. It's a very big piece of history. It's one of the oldest houses in this borough. It's almost 200 years old. So I guess the preservation of our heritage, historic and literature, it means a lot, not only for me, for future generations to come.
Mm-hmm. So when we talk about this, what is actually taking place recently with this renovation and restoration?
Well, it's been closed for a year, and there's two phases. The first phase was the one that just finished. It involved restoring everything from the outside in. The clapboards, they were replaced. There was a lot of damage throughout the years. There was a nice paint job that was given to the cottage. Inside, the wooden lathwork was replaced, and the whole walls, everything inside was replastered. So there was a lot of beams that were reinforced as well. So hopefully we'll have it for another 200 years to enjoy.
How long has this renovation been underway?
It's been a long time coming, but it lasted a year, the first phase, and the house just opened last month after this long restoration. So it's a very big thing that's happened in the Bronx at Poe Park, and we're very proud to announce it.
And with the reopening, you've got people now on their way back in to see, and it's been a long time since they were able to actually see. What are some of the comments that you're getting?
It looks beautiful. I had people that said, it looks too new. You know, people want to keep it old and antique. But we explained that the house was in bad shape for a very long time. And it's a long time coming. It deserves it. And I always like to joke, if the house can actually speak, it would say, ah, because it's been through so much. Poe Cottage has been there since 1812. And it's seen all the changes the Bronx has been through. So it's about time that the cottage gets a nice restoration. So we can last a lot longer and for everyone to enjoy it.
Let's look at some of the pictures that you got with us, because I know you brought some things here with us today.
Well, this is actually another project we're working on. It's called the Bronx Latino History Project. Now, Edgar Allan Poe is attached to it because one of the main things we want to do is have audio tours in Spanish at the cottage. As you know, Poe Cottage is located in a heavy Spanish-speaking community, and there's other ethnic groups as well. So what we want to do is make Poe Cottage more accessible to the community. We also have a fundraiser at the National Arts Club in December, and it's called Salsa Poe. And basically, it's Edgar Allan Poe's works behind a Latino salsa rhythm. So this is all in the name of Poe, and it's something that we look forward to and to have the cottage for years to come.
We're seeing some pictures now. Walk us through a little bit of this.
Well, basically, what you're seeing is it was an actor. We did a video last year. It was done by the Bronx Borough President and the Bronx Tourism Council, and it was called Edgar Allan Poe's Experience at the Cottage. And this was an actor who sat behind a candlelight, and it was an image that I wanted to take. I took it from my iPhone, and this image it just launched on its own. But it's something that we are proud to talk about. And knowing, Edgar Allan Poe, this is where he wrote The Cask of Amontillado. This is where he wrote The Bells and Annabel Lee. He also wrote Landor's Cottage. And in this story, he talks about hills, rivers, trees. You would think he's talking about the Midwest. He's actually talking about the Grand Concourse in KINGSBRIDGE.
The Bronx.
He loved the Bronx. He was inspired by the nature. And what you see here is a good example of how the working class family lived in the Bronx during the 1840s.
So when you talk about the Bronx Latino and we talk about the history of the Bronx Latino, I know you've got some things here that you want to share with us, and I think they're Pretty important to let our viewers see.
This is an exhibit we have at the Museum of Bronx History, and it's talking about Latinos going back to the 18th century until today. A lot of people think, okay, Latinos came to the Bronx with Puerto Ricans in the 1940s and 50s, with the Puerto Rican and Cuban migration. However, we had Latinos in the Bronx way before the Civil War. We had young Cuban baseball players playing for the Rose Hill Baseball Club for St. John's College, which is now Fordham University, and these guys went back to Cuba and helped found Cuban baseball. So there's a lot of information on Latinos we need to unearth, and this project is just the tip of the iceberg. With the information we collect from the Latino community, it becomes educational programming, walking tours, lectures, even books that we can write. So it's a huge project, and it involves anyone. It's not just people of prominence. This can be the lady that lives on the second floor who came from Puerto Rico in the 1940s. So this project addresses all Latinos in the Bronx because after all, Latinos are the largest ethnic group in the borough. The population is more than half, and they're also the biggest business owners as well. So there's a lot to talk about, and as the Bronx Historical Society, this is what we do. We address the people of the Bronx because history is made by people. So this is what we do. We continue to address the ethnic groups of this borough, and now it's the time to talk about Latinos.
So let's get back to the Poe Cottage.
Right.
If people want to find out more information about how they can visit, because now it's available to come see.
Oh yes, they can call the Society at 718-881-8900. They can send us an email at administration@bronxhistoricalsociety.org, or they can come on the weekend. It's open on Saturdays 10 to 4, Sundays 1 to 5. And for school groups, they could just call us and we'll set up an appointment.
And so if they want more information on this project, same thing?
Same information. They can call me. I'm the one spearheading the project. And just want to reiterate, December 9th at the National Arts Club, it's going to be a fundraiser for the Poe Cottage to implement these new features, the audio tours. We also want to make the cottage more accessible to the hearing impaired, so we want to have virtual tours as well on the website. So if anyone wants more information on the fundraiser, they can call us as well.
All right, Angel, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving to you.